All right, and that brings us to our Ask the Expert segment with OJ Hollingsworth. We're taking your calls live on the air, 789-6559, extension 2803. You can always send in your questions via our Facebook page, via email as well, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca. So the combination from OJ Hollingsworth, we have Brenda Hollingsworth and Richard OJ joining us, personal injury lawyers. And this is a great time, as you were saying, to kind of go through as we're looking into the New Year's resolutions, into everything that encompasses a new year, to really review a lot of the personal aspects of things, especially when it comes to insurance.
Yeah, no, that's right. So we obviously meet a lot of people who've had accidents. And when you've had an accident is not a good time to explore what coverages you have available. It's really something that you should have organized in advance so that if disaster strikes, you know where to turn. So let that be your New Year's resolution, and we'll talk a little bit about how to do that.
Absolutely, because we've got our fitness goals, we've got our health goals. I know that we've talked a lot about the financial plans that we would have, and so this just has to get added to the list.
Well, that's it. And insurance is part of your financial planning, right? Because it's a disaster if suddenly you have no income and you have no insurance. So it is an important part of your financial planning. So the first thing, and we've talked about this before, is making sure that you have adequate car insurance, liability insurance. In Ontario, the minimum is $200,000. Don't be driving a car in Ontario with $200,000 limits. That's ridiculous. Most insurance brokers won't even sell you that. So it doesn't cost very much to get $1 million relative to $200,000. So the minimum anyone should have is $1 million.
Okay, that's the minimum. And so if you don't think you have it, or you're not quite familiar with what your insurance has, you call them, ask what the limit is.
So go take your little pink slip and phone the name of your insurance company, give them your policy number, and they'll tell you your policy limits. And, you know, $2 million is much better than $1 million. And again, not that much more expensive. So, you know, try to do that.
It is something that I learned from you, and it was a call that I did make, and it was a very minimal over the course of the year. I think it was $40 more for the entire year, and the coverage was much more. God forbid something were to happen, and you would need to use it.
And you got to remember, your liability insurance protects you if you cause an accident and hurt someone else, but it also protects you if you have an accident and the person who hits you isn't adequately insured. So if the person who hits you, let's say you're driving in Florida, and the person who hits you has $50,000, which is entirely possible because that's
how it works.
You know, that's how it works down there. So they have $50,000 of insurance, and you have $1 million accident. Well, your insurance is going to kick in and pay the difference up to whatever limits you have. So if you have children, you know, if you drive a lot, if you drive out of Ontario, because even in Quebec, it's only $50,000. Nobody has only 50, but it is. You could find someone with $50,000 in insurance. Have adequate insurance to protect yourself.
Okay, so that's number first.
Yeah, that's number one.
To number two?
Yeah, number two, related, is the accident benefits. And Rich and I see people with accident benefits all the time. Nobody has the extended coverage, right? So there's the basic coverage. This is for your no-fault benefits, so medical and rehabilitation benefits, income replacement benefits. Nobody has the top-up. If you don't have disability insurance at work and you don't have any other disability insurance, you should at least get a quote for an increased income replacement benefit, because it's only $400 a week. No matter what your income is, the most it can be is $400 a week.
So are you looking at a lot of people who may be self-employed, trades workers, anything that, God forbid, there's an accident, then they lose that aspect, that they have their own coverage?
That's right. Like, and many people who work in small businesses don't have disability. Even if you have dental and medical coverage, you likely don't have disability unless you work for a big organization, because it is expensive for an employer to provide. So what are you going to do if you're in a car accident and you can't work? How long can you live on $400 a week? Most people, not very long. You know, most people have mortgages and expenses that continue. So number two would be checking out your accident benefit coverage. Again, you call your own insurance company and you ask them, what do I have and how much would it cost to increase my medical rehabilitation benefit, my income replacement benefit? Two easy things to find out, and you decide if it fits your budget.
These are two things that I think we take seriously, because you have been the person, and you're you know, the law firm dealing with people who find themselves in these situations.
Well-
And so you see if there's anything that people can do. Those are the first two items that they need to look through.
Well, that's it, because it's such a crisis. I mean, people are injured and trying to deal with rehab, and they have no money. And if you're a single person and you have a mortgage, what do?
We're going to be talking about some of the safety concerns, some of the things we need to look at when it comes to safety, and going through that process as well. Richard's going to be helping us out with that. But we want to be able to answer your questions as well. So please send us in your questions to our email, to our Facebook page, or give us a call live on the air, 789-6559, extension 2803. We'll be back after these short break.